Hello, welcome. My friend and I have just been tinkering with a new mod for the AI to try and make it harder. It's a bug fix mod, so it obviously fixes some bugs and stuff like that as well. There's quite a lot of unification assets used in it, so everything looks better. You can zoom out a bit more. There's some other quality of life changes, but particularly the AI is quite a bit harder. So I've played several games today, two of which were loss, two of which were loses. Pretty bad. 15 to 20 minutes sort of thing lost. Eldar versus Eldar was a loss. Then I played Necrons, got Dark Eldar, and I got pretty ravaged in that one also. So, how to go with Ig, which is probably my strongest race these days. Against, I always play random, ended up getting Necrons. So, let's take a look. Fog of War on, Fog of War off, Fog of War on, Fog of War off. So we have Ig, as you can see, of course. We're going to go with a classic build. Infantry command, couple of power stations, 2 guardsmen, and 3 tech priests. Necrons will be going with a pretty standard build as well, I imagine. So, early days. Let's speed it up a little. I just want to get through this thing. I'm going to take a point, but the next regiment commander, tech priest, will be heading to the middle relic. And we're going to try to establish a control area here and fight them off. There's some nice heavy cover or light cover areas and some channels, some high ground, and there's only one way through, so you can capture this pretty safe hold. Okay, so initial battle. It's just a quick push with the Necron Lord and a group of warriors. Nothing sort of out of the ordinary here. We're looking for any differences between maybe the original insane AI and the upgraded AI. It does seem to kite a lot better. It potentially responds a bit better. It's a bit more aggressive. Definitely better unit mix. Just generally seems harder. So pretty good kiting, but this is a fairly standard play for Necron AI anyway. So as it looks right there, I mean, they could pretty much just walk straight through. And we've got the second group. We're going to try and capture some points. Lots of things here could have been played a lot better by me. Attacking up wasn't great. So there's still a lot of improvement to do. I should mention I'm a veteran. I used to play this back in 2007, 8, 9, and so on. I played semi-pro games at those days in the Electronic Sports League, as it was called back then. And I was pretty good. But obviously after a long period of not playing, I'm somewhat out of practice. But I know what to do, I know how to play the game. So whether or not you agree with the tactics is another matter. But I play the way that suits me and that I enjoy, so if you've got a problem with it, feel free to leave any suggestions or comments on how you think I should improve. It's always welcome. So, we've just got a basic standard fight going on. There's a bit of kiting. The Necrons are, of course, tough. They often just try to push up and into melee, which is a bit of a mistake. It's my command squadron is going to bash them while they're getting shot. Turrets in support. Now the Ig are very strong if you dig into a position and hold it with turret support, building support, listening post support. and of course your men. Let's have a quick look. So Tactica's in place, but no upgrades on any of the LPs. Everything's going into the military at this point. We have took the other relic at this point. Cheeky little turret there on the Necrons, so we don't want to push too far forward. There's no need to take any unnecessary damage right now. Benefiting from a bit of cover as they're making their assaults. But there's still a bit of killing ground, so that's all good. We have the Necron Lord's orbs deploying. Into the building we go. And he survives just. So we've got our 3 initial groups out, so that's the core of our army. And of course there's one down here. They won't be playing much of a role in the battle, so they're going to hang around and try and secure the relic as best they can. Now this is of course the Necron entrance, so I could probably have pushed right to here even and maybe set up there, but that's not what we do. We're going for the middle. We don't just want to rush in and immediately shut down the computer. We want a bit of a scrap. We want to see how good this AI is and challenge myself a little bit before we move on to playing human beings again. If at all. So at this point it's looking pretty decent, so I should have probably taken that at this point. There's no reason why I shouldn't really be pushing these other areas, but you know, it's easy to look at it now and say do this, do that while you're fighting. You know, you're taking positions, you're happy with the areas you've got. You know, it's always a good idea to dig in with the egg and try and tech a bit. What we've got going on here, commissioners come in. Nothing happening. Only 2 power grids so far. So we're just focused purely on getting as much firepower into a small killing area as possible at this stage. But yeah, it would have been pretty decent to go for this. To go for the dig-in here, right outside their door. So, this is their main push. They've already got vehicles out within 9 minutes. They've got 2 out. So they're taking up very quickly. And they've got a multi-arms task force. So I'm now completely out-teched. We've got what are these destroyers? Probably, yeah. Immortals, warriors, flayed ones, wraiths. So the guys are pulling back. This is a sign that we're staying here and we're committed to not falling back. If we die here. So everyone's in the middle now. Perfect. 4 turrets teched up. So we're on, as you can see, 10 minutes mark, and this is more than half built, so a bit slow, but it's okay. We're getting what we need. Now, 3 destroyers. Really nice mix, not fast, but a decent mix. We've got wraiths pushing up into the base with flayed ones. Because this hasn't been teched up, that's going to get destroyed. I'm not sort of too worried about that at this point. I'm still focused on digging into the middle here. I baited these guys to pull them into the fire. So that was kind of the whole idea, was to fight them here and drag them in. So that's what we want to do. I had noticed this, but there was obviously nothing immediate I could do without just sort of building troops here. I figured that it would take a while for it to go down, so I just left it for a bit. The main push is coming up now, but they'll all focus on where I want them to go rather than into the base. Let's see how high that doesn't go crazy higher, but it's definitely a bit higher up. I think that's fine, to be honest. It's high enough. So, yeah, now I should also say that I've always found the Necrons to be the easiest race to beat. It's not a comment on how strong or weak they are, just I've always, compared to any other race, found them to be one of the easiest to take on and win. Okay, so first sort of really major engagement. I've got some anti-vehicle in turrets and the meat shield, and of course the encampments. These are so it is like her. Okay. So yeah, Necron Lord's in there leading his posse. That LP is down now, and they're working on the infantry barracks, and he's deployed his orb, time orb, so everyone's going to need to move out of that. And there's my first basilisk, which is extremely important to the overall defensive strategy. Okay, he's going to be going for it, but he's going down. We've got here spiders, the destroyer. So I still felt unsure here. It all felt very uncertain at this point. I did feel like I could get wiped away at any moment. The Necrons are very, very strong when used correctly. Despite what I said earlier, they can definitely do a lot of damage. But they are very, very strong when deployed in this sort of way. So there we go, we've held them. Now we've got time to just take a moment, gather our troops up, replace losses, do some repairs, do a bit of shelling. Of course that relic is lost, so the monolith awakening now is a potential danger at some point in the near future. Okay, so the infantry barracks gone, and he's attacking that. There's a couple of guys inside it. Priests are being built to deal with it. So it's done some damage, but nothing particularly important. We're just getting more and more established right here. Now, I left these here for a long time. They could have been deployed a bit further over to start shooting in. Just harass a bit better there. So as I say, there was lots of things that I could have done better in this game, which I know. Having said that, we're doing fine. We've got a point, we've got economy, we've got everything we need. Now the priests are out. They're going to help defend there against any further wraiths. And we've got the Tech 3 on the LP. Another basilisk as well on its way. Okay. So let's take a look at what's going on in Necron City. So there you go. So we've started shelling the Necrons now. We'll actually build another one. So yeah, nothing to worry in here. That was a bit of a silly choice to put them there. So I could have done a lot of punishment if I'd have pushed out. Could have probably won this game in half the time. There's the priests eating some shell. Still haven't replaced that. There it is. So yeah, they haven't got much chance to come through. There's a little bit of extra armor supporting a Shimra. I was starting to feel like I'm winning this, if not I've won already. But of course the awakened monolith is a problem. That comes. The fog all back on, so yeah. Priests sitting there. Basilisks are messing them up, which lets the guys shoot in peace. Got a mixture of mostly plasmas now, but there's probably still some grenade launchers in there. And of course your lasguns. Command squad have moved in, and they're going to pull back. I've moved over the encampment guys, or heavy weapon teams if you'd prefer. I obviously haven't deployed them yet. Here they go. It's always annoying when that happens. Facing the right way, but they just turn around at the last second. Like, time's wasted as their guns are rotating. Although things are more than under control at this point. They've got very little chance of pushing us out now without a really focused effort. So we're just going to hold here for a bit as we're halfway through the game. And let's speed things up a little and remove the fog again. So again, the Necrons haven't got tons of stuff at this point, and more than likely could have moved in and really hurt them. We've got a Hellhound out. I think a Sentinel is next. Power grids finished off. This is it really. So it's nothing incredibly exciting, it's yeah. So I mean that's it. We've won this game at this point. We've just established ourselves. They're not going to be able to push us off with what they've got. none of the 3 channels is of any real concern. And we have our Ogrins. Full command squad, there's the Sentinel. So we're just going to start shelling them. 26 minutes in, so another roughly 10 minutes-ish. And the Ogrins have gone down to mix it up a little bit. The idea was to take the relic off them. It's a little bit too hot. Unsupported. So yeah, pretty happy with this game. Any other faction probably would have been a lot harder for me. I think the Necron's slowness works against them in many ways. So yeah, easily dominating the centre now. Mixture of various weaponry. I mean, I think this is the first time I've ever played this map, so once I realise just how close the Necron base is to my position, we'll start shelling their base. Right now I'm just enjoying dominating the computer after those 2 earlier losses. We're just taking up. Want to get some armor out. Looking for a place to put the Baneblade at some point. It's getting a bit crowded now. You've got... Oh, what's that? looks like something the egg left behind. So let's give it a boost. That's the new factory. Getting its options ready, researched. So it looks like they're finally firing into the neck base. Obviously, we target their power grids. So this would have been the point to move over the encampments, I guess, which does come, but not at this moment. Ah, there it is. So we finally got them over, and they're going to start punishing the Necron base now. And we've finally taken the critical point on the hill. Wouldn't be a bad idea to pack this full of troops either on that high ground. That could have totally worked as well. All my infantry up here. Even plugged it up with a couple of turrets. Yeah, that definitely worked. I like this map though. And there's the Baneblade finally. Or the Moz pattern command rather. With the intention to just roll the Baneblade straight down and in, although that ultimately won't be needed because we've got the Basilisks and the encampments blasting away. So here we see a weakness of the AI. They're using everything to build rather than potentially repair and shoot back. Hit the threat. So everything is now well on its way. And that's that monolith gone. Working on the second mono now. For some reason they built 2 summoning cores. Their grids took a beating. They haven't repaired that. So there's definitely some areas still that the AI isn't improved on, hasn't got better at. Not sure what the plan was here. With these Necron exodus of scarabs. I mean, I could have even built potentially bombers. Send some bombers overhead. Oh, the Baneblade's in. Straight in. This is where everyone's going to move now. And we've got Lehman also. But it's over. And that is that.